What is up, rockers of the Rock Nation? This is your fellow rocker here, Rockerman X, and I'm here right now with another death battle reaction for you all. Now, as I've said in the you guys probably see this one after the other one I post. As said in the last one, this one I have seen before. It's been a while, but I just wanted to rewatch it and re-react to it just because it's been a while since I've actually seen it. Yeah. And on top of that, too, as I've already mentioned, too, I just want to talk about it and give my thoughts on it, because I've read through the comments before, and even one of my friends were pissed off at the outcome, but at least they gave actual reasons why they were pissed at the outcome. But, you know, I can respect that of them. Other times, you know, I didn't watch the video, but the other day, or whenever it was, I didn't watch the video, but I decided to read through the comments. So many Final Fantasy people are butthurt at this, and I'm like, why are you so butthurt? Again, you go into these, you should never take these as definitive proof who would win the fight. Who would win in the battle. You never should. I don't, but at the same time, you kind of have to. I don't, as I said, as I already said, I don't. But I just want to give my thoughts on it and opinion, because again, and rewatch it and just give my thoughts and opinion on it, because I've seen so many people just talk trash about this battle because of people said it was conspiracy theory because Rooster Teeth, which I'm not even told you competitors yet, because Rooster Teeth had something to do with the outcome, all because, you know, it was to promote the new season or new volume, which is around volume 3 of RWBY was coming out. That was about 2015, so this battle is a couple years old, roughly. Actually, about over a year old. But yeah, since I said RWBY, as for my reacting, Yang Xiaolong versus Tifa Lockhart. RWBY versus Final Fantasy. Two close quarters combat competitors fighting each other, which makes complete sense. But, you know, here's the thing. I don't remember much about this video, you know, how they did Tifa or how Yang. I kind of could see how they done Yang, and I know nothing about the Final Fantasy universe. Like, I know nothing about Tifa, or I barely remember anything about Tifa, because, you know. And Yang, next to Blake, like, again, it goes Blake and then Yang. So Yang is like my second favorite huntress when it comes in confines of Team RWBY. But it's just ridiculous, the stuff I've seen people bitch and complain about this battle so much. But I'm not going to complain either. Again, it's been a while since I've seen it, so enough of me rambling on. I'm going to start this video now in 3, 2, 1, now.
Punching, the most useful language in the world when words fail.
Truth.
And these two lovely ladies are fluent in it.
Yang Xiaolong, the adventurous huntress from RWBY.
And Tifa Lockhart, the Final Fantasy heavy hitter with enormous power. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze
Sure,
their
it's
weapons,
just power.
armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
I'm starting off with Yang, alright.
The world of Remnant is, well, crazy.
Exactly.
Creatures called Grim run wild. Entire cities have gone to waste, and every single weapon is also a gun. Even nunchucks.
True.
Oh, that sounds like Disneyland.
That's why I like the show so much, too.
The happiest, most gun-filled place on Earth.
Luckily, the world is protected by the Huntsmen and Huntresses, an elite group of expertly trained warriors.
And where else would you get the training to kill bloodthirsty monsters than from high school?
Or college, as I would assume it's more like.
This is the best day ever.
Because RWBY's 15 at the time, everyone else is 17. So that's more college than high school, especially for first-year students, I feel like.
All her life by her hero legend of an uncle, Yang Xiaolong was accepted into Beacon Academy.
It's kind of like Hogwarts, except replace wands and books with swords.
Infamous for her puns.
Transforming
No, she's
sides.
famous for her
Man,
puns.
this place just keeps getting better and better. Seriously, I know where I'm gonna retire now.
A natural fighter and thrill seeker at heart,
There you go.
Yang fit right in and soon found herself a member of the color-coordinated team RWBY, led by her younger sister,
RWBY.
Because that's not confusing at all.
I'm talking about kicking off the semester with a bang.
I always kick my semesters off
With the Yang!
Eh? Guys?
I shouldn't laugh at that, but it's like, god damn it.
Anyway,
The food fight episode.
Was well spent,
A
she
really
became
well done
the
episode
master
for
of
Ruby 2.
punching all the things.
It was the first episode in
While
Volume
Yang's fellow
2.
teammates wield a scythe, a couple swords, some big guns, Yang's style of combat takes a
More direct
approach.
approach.
Yeah, she does, with her shotgun gauntlets.
Her 2 golden bracelets aren't just stylish, they extend to form a weapon called the Ember Celica.
With just a punch, the Ember Celica fires off a flash of kinetic energy, blasting a foe with an explosion of force and a beautiful sound.
I'm so hungry.
To top it off, these can
I forgot how
bullets
epic
can
some of
fly
this is.
several hundred feet. Yang is one of the few people I know who can punch a bird out of the sky. That's what you get for crapping on my car.
In addition, like most huntresses, Yang can manifest her soul as an aura. Aura can be used to block deadly attacks and heal minor wounds, and Yang's is no different.
But my favorite way she uses her aura is when she goes Super Saiyan.
Many hunters and huntresses possess a semblance, a special power unique to them that makes Beacon Academy look a little more like the Xavier School for Gifted Youngsters.
True.
Yang's semblance absorbs damage from hits she takes, adding them to her own physical power. After taking just 2 attacks from a mech suit, she was strong enough to shatter the whole thing in
That's
one
also
go.
true.
Unfortunately, her semblance does not increase her aura's defense, so she feels the full force of everything that hits her aura, and can only absorb power so long as she remains conscious.
Neo.
Luckily, she's pretty tough. Yang survived a punch that easily smashed her through a
And
concrete
again,
pillar. You know, the ones designed to hold
she
up
didn't go
entire
through just
front.
one.
And
Well,
during
I'll get
a
more on
food
that in a minute.
fight, remember this is high school, Yang was knocked up into the air and did not come back down for about 100 seconds. More than enough time to reach terminal velocity. This means upon landing, she took an impact of nearly 50 tons of force.
And stood right back up like it was nothing. Ah, what a waste of good food.
Despite
True.
this,
Shame
Yang
for
can
the
only
food.
take so much. Her aura has a limit, as does her short temper. Pushing both of these too far leaves her extremely vulnerable.
Like when this ice cream lady knocked her out
Neo.
because Yang had been fighting monsters all day with no sleep.
It's also worth noting Yang is less adaptable when fighting against foes.
And that's true,
specializing
because
in
right there,
kicks.
that's proof.
Still, she's confident she's one of the best in her
I think
class
she was
and
getting double teamed
dedicated
there.
to graduating Huntress School so she can travel the world fighting everyone just for the thrill of it.
Wait for it. Nailed it.
Far to the west on the planet Gaia lies a small mountain village called Nibelheim. At first glance, this town appears calm and peaceful, not worth a second look.
Until a sword-wielding goth guy found his alien mother hidden inside. He's celebrated with fireworks.
After losing her parents and watching the madman Sephiroth burn her hometown to ashes, Tifa Lockhart
shit.
joined Avalanche, a group dedicated to protecting the planet from ecological harm and meteors.
Speaking of meteors, check out the size of the...
Boomstick!
What? I was talking about the meteor.
Sure you were.
Yeah, sure you were,
Anyway,
Boomstick.
Tifa was thrust into the stereotypical gender role of housekeeper by maintaining the hidden Avalanche home base 7th Heaven. But it wasn't all bad because it also doubled as a bar.
And she doubled as a bouncer.
Now, I've been thrown out of my fair share of bars for totally illegitimate reasons, but not even I would urinate on the
Sure you
7th
were.
Heaven jukebox with Tifa on guard.
Smart choice, since she is a master of close quarters combat. Tifa is a feint brawler, adept at surprising foes with quick, powerful strikes. And as she traveled with her friend Cloud to save the planet, she learned 7 legendary techniques, the limit breaks.
Accessing her inner gambler, Tifa's limit breaks include rapid-fire punches, explosive throwdowns, and summoning dolphins
Dolphin
to
blow,
uppercut
yeah.
people? Well, that's just awesome.
Again, know nothing about Tifa,
And
but
she
that I
manages to
forgot all
throw all of
about,
them in order.
honestly.
She charges the last of her limit energy into one final titanic punch. The final heaven. Fuck you, squirrel!
Tifa is ready to throw down at a moment's notice, and even wears leather gloves everywhere she goes just in case a fight comes her way.
And if she decides to get really serious, Miss Lockhart busts out her 2 round, beautiful ultimate weapons.
Don't you dare!
The Premium Heart.
Oh, Boomstick.
Oh. Well, the premium heart increases Tifa's striking power immensely and continues to do so over time as she builds limit energy. However, they lose this increase after Tifa uses her limit breaks and need time to charge back up.
Oh, that sounds like it could be a problem. Oh, if she didn't also have magic.
In Final Fantasy VII, there's
The
a wide
dust.
variety of magical ability granting gems
Materia.
called materia.
The dust
Any person can
of Final
wield
Fantasy.
any materia, and it's up to the game's actual player to decide who gets what, giving Tifa no standard materia setup. However, thanks to the Dissidia Fighting series, we know Tifa prefers to carry fire and ice materia into battle.
These fire and ice materia let Tifa conjure and wield fire and ice. Combine that with her freakish superhuman strength, and she's like an unstoppable powerhouse.
Well, her immense power does come at a price. Her skills in speed and defense are somewhat lacking, making her something of a glass cannon. But to help make up for this, Tifa wears 2 armor pieces. She wears a ribbon on her arm in memory of her late friend Aerith,
Come on, man. Don't bring that up.
which protects her from negative effects like poison and paralysis.
Which does nothing
She
against
also
Yang.
likely wears the Minerva band to defend from fire and ice.
Glass cannon or
Which-
not, her strength is ridiculous.
Yeah, more
She's
than
strong enough to fight an embodiment of Sephiroth and throw giant monsters around like nothing.
And there was the time she helped throw Cloud through the air to reach the flying monster Bahamut Sin. After leaving Tifa's hand, you can see a Mach cone form around Cloud, which means Tifa must have helped throw him with enough force to break the sound barrier.
Oh, Cloud's a lightweight. Come on, how hard can that be?
Well, factoring in the weight of Cloud and his giant weapon, he must have been thrown with up to 153 tons of force.
Well, shit, talk about power. You don't want to mess with Tifa's strong, twin, firm
No.
fists. Also, she's got a really nice rack.
Of
Did
course.
I mention that yet?
Feels like you're flying, doesn't it? All done.
Shit. Alright.
All right, the combatants.
And pause. Because this one we'll talk about my opinion right now. Come down to the analysis. Who would you would think have the upper hand? Honestly, based off just the fact she's a veteran at close quarters combat, you would think Tifa would have the... And this is what I'm going to get into, subject that people has bitched about too. More or less. That when it came down more to Tifa compared to Yang, people are saying they overpowered Yang by giving her stuff that, you know, by giving her stuff she doesn't have, which the ability, her durability, and they upped her durability strength and upped her stuff and all that. Here's where I'm going to say this right now. People, like the part when, during the first episode of Volume 2, during the food fight scene, which I showed, where she goes up there and it doesn't come down, she has enough energy to turn on velocity. People bitched, here's the thing, people bitched about that because they're saying that kind of cheated Yang's power a bit, upped it a bit, because when they did that, that was meant for comedy reasons, and yes, it was meant for comedy reasons, that I can agree with. But at the same time, the thing happened, meaning that if it happened, no matter what use it was for. Not to mention, Yang, again, when she faced Neo, has fought Grim all day, so ultimately she's going to be weaker. Because, again, you don't know her full strength, per se. I'm only going to say that because, at the time, even still now in Volume 4, well, not really Volume 4, but at the time, you know, before Volume 3 came out, you didn't know much about the World of Remnant. You still don't know that much about it. So you don't know power levels that well compared to that. And that's something I've always said about in this, when I first seen this death battle. That's something I remember sticking out to me, like, especially, you know, not watching all of Ruby yet. You know, there's no set limits to what the aura and semblance and all that can do. No set limit whatsoever. And that's how I feel about that. And on top of that, too, when it came to Yang, when they said she went through a pill, when she was punched through the pillar of the concrete pillar that held up the bridge or whatever. You know, I remember watching that episode. Actually, I just watched it recently, back about a month or so ago, when I was trying to catch up on the whole series for Volume 5. And I did, well, it wasn't even a month. It was like end of April, middle of April. But the point of it is, I remember watching the episode, and Yang, as they showed as well, went through not one, but 3 pillars. So, more indication there of power strength, you know. people should realize that, again, at the time, there wasn't much known about Remnant, so they had to go off what they was based off of. Yes, people would say, oh yeah, she's a teenager, she shouldn't have that capability of fighting. But again, you have the Final Fantasy universe, and then here's how from what little I know of the Final Fantasy universe, especially from this video. Here's Final Fantasy universe. Ruby's power level universe is way more up there than what Final Fantasy is. And that's how I feel about that. And now, and people's bitch too about, on Tifa's side, people's bitch about Tifa, having, the ribbon on her arm, or not even the ribbon on her arm, the ribbon on her armor, the nerve band, that ribbon on her arm. The ribbon, paralysis, and poison status effect essentially does nothing against Yang. Yang doesn't have poison or anything like that. Paralysis, maybe I can see with her hits, but no. That ultimately to me does nothing against Yang. The Minerva band, which calls fire and ice, alright, maybe I can see fire, but not so much ice. But that's just me. And let's not forget, too, when you mentioned the Cloud comment. From my knowledge, too, from seeing other people react to it, and this is, again, forever ago, that, shit. I'm trying to think how to word this. That, in that series when she was slowing Cloud up there, to my knowledge, she was, Tifa was the last one, just so happened to be the last one in a series of, so many other people who helped throw Cloud up. So essentially, yes, it would make sense why that might come to happen. Not saying she's not strong enough for it to happen herself if she was the only one. But the point of it is, that's kind of thing where it was in a series of it. Oh, and then another thing I've seen people as bitch about on Tifa's end was the, well, back to the Minerva band. Here's what people think, too, against the fire. Of course, we know Yang has the dust and all that stuff, and she doesn't really do ice dust. She does more, I would assume, more fire dust than anything. Or bullets, even, for that, or her bullets for that matter. Blunt force, she might be able to protect against fire with the Minerva band, but blunt force from, a shot or something? No, that would not protect her that well. I wouldn't say that would protect her from fire or from blunt force. But now, back to what I was going to say. Something else I was going to say, now I don't remember. Oh, I've also seen people bitched about the materia that gave Tifa. Well, as I said, there's no set limit to how you can, there's no set limit to how you could have it. So, in my opinion, what they did was give her one set based off another game, a fighting series that possibly would make sense that she would have. Whether it's canon or not, how else would they decide what kind of material to give her? Well, based off that, they gave her fire and ice. Alright, fire and ice materia. So that's that solved. And really what this comes down to right now is, honestly, Yang's aura and semblance, in my opinion. So while Tifa might have the experience needed to win, I think Yang... Well, no, let's go on to another thing I was going to say about Tifa. The limit breaks. To my knowledge as well, the other 5 limit breaks, the 5 at the end, is more heavy hits. While the first 2, the beat rush and the water kick, is more of a, just a powered up version of a punch or a kick, essentially. Meaning that while it might have some, more power to it, I think, in my opinion, those 2 are slightly, just very slightly more powerful than a normal punch or a normal kick. That's just me. Just slightly better, just a variation of her normal stuff. That's just how I feel about that. But yeah, as for this battle now, after I got that out of the way, in my opinion on it, you would think Tifa would have the most experience, and on that one hand, yes, you are right. Tifa has the most experience to win this fight. But it comes to Yang, again, not much is known about power levels in this universe of Remnant, of Ruby. So I feel like it will be Yang, and again, it's been a while since I've seen this video, but I do remember what people was bitched about. Yang would come on top because of her aura and her semblance. Because, think about, and I'm pretty sure they'll say this at the end too, but if Yang can't survive, Yang at 100% fresh could probably survive Tifa. and her attacks, because her aura. If you cannot out-survive with the aura, then her semblance wouldn't matter. That's how I see it. But again, been a while since I've seen it, so I don't remember outcome. Actually, I do remember the outcome, but I don't remember the reasons why. That's just me saying. But enough about me giving my thoughts on it and why, right now, how I would think it. Let's move on to the actual battle, shall we? And for the record, this is one of my all-time favorite battles, just the way it's done. But that's just me. But restarting up the video in 3, 2, 1, and now.
Are set. Let's end this debate once and for all.
It's time for a death battle!
Appropriately Ruby style, starting off in the club. Because, you know, Yang's trailer.
Hold up. Let me see some lightning.
Nope, fuck you. Just punch him through.
Hello. No need to panic, people. Just looking for someone. I will take a strawberry
Strawberry sunrise, though. No ice.
Thanks.
Sorry, miss. I think you'd better turn yourself around and look elsewhere.
So, does this mean no sunrise?
Sorry, Yang, no sunrise. Let's look at this. Right here, already starting off hot. Hot fire. The ice material come into play. Fire material.
I sure am.
Don't mock me!
Tuh. Right there, out of the children pose, to my knowledge. Well,
Warm-up's over. I'm going to blow you out of the water!
alright, out. And right through the thing. Yep, right through the glass onto the floor. Oh! Yang's theme playing, it's over. It's over when Yang theme starts playing. She's bleeding too. Let's say this isn't wise. That's to be bleeding from her eye. Oh shit. Damn, all these flips too and shit. God, I forgot how fucking amazing this battle was with animation. Or Quake. Ice. Oh. Ah shit. Ah shit, Yang's getting fucked! Her eyes. Punch it out of the way, blocks it. Again, blunt force comes into play there. I don't care what people say, that'd be blunt force.
Let's see if you can keep up with this.
Beat rush. Water kick. The somersault. Somersault probably not even that good either, I would assume.
Did I just explode?
Yeah, shit. Shit, the hair. Don't fuck with Yang's hair. Better watch out, Tifa. Well, it's over. Tifa's dead. And right in a snap of the neck. Oh, wait.
Nailed it.
Nailed it. And the Volume 3 poster for the Vinyl Festival.
Cross another
Put on
potential
sunglasses and walks
rival
away.
list.
Tifa was naturally stronger and more experienced than Yang.
Exactly.
But Yang's semblance quickly turned all Tifa's power against her.
What did I say?
Even the Minerva Band, the best of Tifa's armor options to counter Yang's strength and shotgun blast, was eventually overtaken by the semblance.
Plus, while Tifa could lift creatures many times heavier than Cloud using her limit breaks, she never shows this kind of strength anywhere else.
Even her
That
strength.
power is exclusive to those limit breaks rather than
Exactly.
something she
Even if she does have
And even though Tifa's
different
premium
strength
art
where she can
increased
lift heavy
over
objects,
time,
that's
they
true right
reset
there
after
as
her
well.
limit breaks, while Yang's power kept on rising.
Exactly.
However,
That's another
Yang's
reason
real
too.
trump card was her aura. Her semblance would have been useless if she could not survive Tifa's attacks. Luckily, her aura is durable enough to take a punch that shattered a concrete pillar about 4
And
feet
again,
wide.
she went through 3 of those pillars, not just 1, but 3.
1,400 tons of
So
force.
keep that in mind,
That's the
people.
equivalent of having 360 jetliners fall on your face. Yang's power just pulled through in a snap.
The winner
Yeah.
is Yang Xiaolong.
Next time.
Yeah, I've already
on
seen this.
Death
This
Battle.
just nothing special. This is an old video, so there's no
No, I
reason to
got
take
it.
it. But let me just fast forward. But exactly what did I say was going to happen? Then again, I think of it. Then again, I think watching this before. There's the one I was thinking of. I'm on the Zoro versus Urza. That's the other one I was thinking of. The other One Piece versus Fairy Tail I was thinking of from the other video that I couldn't remember. But which I haven't seen that. I would react to that one, but I haven't seen it. But I have a couple I plan on reacting to anyway ahead of time. But again, what did I say? Yang's semblance and aura takes triumph over Tifa, because Tifa doesn't have that ability. And while people can bitch and complain about Tifa not winning, I really do feel like this one, or say that Rooster Teeth had a hand in the outcome. Some conspiracy theory about that. And as promotion for Volume 3, because this was before Volume 3 came out to my knowledge anyway, I still feel like this was called... This is one of the death battles I try not to take too seriously, especially people bitching about it. But this is the one that I feel like was actually called right down the middle, and was actually given the W to the person who actually deserved it. Granted, again, you don't... Again, as I already said before, I don't go into these things taking them as definitive proof. They're fun videos to watch, and the battles are fun as fuck. But, again, with the reasons they give, and the reasons I said during the thing... You know, again, with the reasons I said during the break thing, when I try to give my thoughts on the analysis. And as I already said, Ruby's universe, again, Final Fantasy universe, Ruby universe, essentially. Overpowered as fuck. At least that's my opinion on that. No matter how you see it, the worlds, to me, are completely different power levels. And Ruby is just... The power levels are more than fucking Final Fantasy. That's my opinion on it. People can say whatever. I feel like this battle was called fairly, and I feel like Yang should have won regardless of people bitching. And that's how I see it. And as I said too, maybe I'm biased because I know more about Ruby than Final Fantasy, but that's just how I see it. And again, for exactly reasons I said, was part of the reasons why they gave her the win. Yang's durability compared to Tifa's, you know, her semblance, her aura. You know, again, as I already said, even with the things that were meant for comedy, whether they happen or not, they still happened. Whether they're meant for comedy or not, they still happened, so there's that. But again, I feel like this death battle is called fairly, fair and square, right down the middle. So there's that. I have nothing wrong with this battle. Other people can bitch and complain about it. They can come, you know, I'm willing to talk about this battle more in the comments below. I'm more on my, you know, I pretty much give what I said. But I'm willing to talk in the comments about it if people want to talk about it. But until next time, guys, live free and rock.